I'm Elizabeth. Thank you for practicing with me today. If you have any kind of a yoga strap or a belt or just a towel, anything that's, about arm's width wide that you can hold on to, take a minute, pause the video if you need to go get that, and then meet me back on the mat. And we'll close our eyes. Take a moment just to bring your awareness into the space of the body. Notice the connection between your body and the floor, legs and hips. Gently draw the belly in. Let the chest float up. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. You might even give them a little shake. Feel length through the back of the neck. Crown of the head floats up, allowing the rest of the spine to grow even taller. And chin draws gently in, just to facilitate that lengthening of the spine. Now bring awareness to the breath. Your next inhale, feel the breath fill the front of the chest, front of the rib cage. And on your next inhale, feel the breath fill the front and the back of the chest cavity. And exhale. And with your next inhale, feel the breath fill front, back, and both sides, expanding in all directions. We'll mark the beginning of our practice by chanting Om 3 times together. Focus on the sound, the vibration in the body, and the connection to all of those around you who may not be practicing at the same moment in time that you are, but are all practicing together as one. Take a deep breath in. Just continue to focus on the breath. Watch as it moves in and out of the body. And then start to be a little more conscious of the breath. On your next exhale, let all of the air empty out. Breathe in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Continue to breathe like this on your own. If 3 counts is comfortable, you can try 4 or 5. Just equal counts to each part of the breath. No straining. And as you finish your next round of breath, Just allow the breath to float back into a natural rhythm, maybe a little bit steadier than it was even a few moments ago. Blink the eyes open and find your strap. Take your strap. You can start with it pretty wide. Take it overhead and just start moving arms back and forth like this. And I'm actually going to sit up on my toes like that, just to get a stretch for the bottom of my foot while I'm doing this. And you may or may not want to do that. You can sit in any position that's comfortable. And you can move a little bit more slowly if you find some spots, maybe back along here, that feel really good. You can stick with them. And if your shoulders are feeling good with that, you might take the arms a little closer together. And just same thing, backwards and forwards. Noticing if you, like I do, have a tendency to flare your ribs out. Just keeping the core strong. So the movement is in the shoulders and not in the ribs, not in the lower back. And then again, maybe holding in one spot, find your favorite spot. And then come back up and just come up and over to the right. Pull your right hand. Let your left hip be heavy. You may even bow your ribs out to the left. And then come back center. Reach up and over to the left side. You can bow the ribs out to the right. Let the right hips be heavy. And then return center. You can set your strap to the side. I'm not going to cue the strap again, but if you want to use the strap again for any other poses, feel free. And let's come onto hands and knees. We'll start moving through cat and cow. As you inhale, lift the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, press the floor away, draw the belly in, around through the upper back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw in. Feel to take any other movements that feel good here. I'm going to start to move forward as I inhale, lifting the chest, and then roll my hips back towards my seat with the exhale as I round. Inhale, I'm just going to take the whole body forward, and then exhale, move it back. I'm trying to get as much movement in the spine as I can. Inhaling, lifting the chest. And exhaling, rounding back. One more time, inhaling, rippling forward. And exhaling, drawing back. All the way to child's pose, just for a breath. And then make your way to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Take a few breaths to get any kinks out, so that when you come into this pose in the future, you've already gotten your wiggles, you've already maybe shifted the hips side to side, pedaled the feet. Maybe you're already wanting stillness in the pose. And as you find stillness, reconnect with the breath. Just watch as it moves in and out of the body. Hug your elbows in, press the floor away. The heels are heavy. Feel the hips draw up and back towards the corner, high corner of the room. And the spine is long. On your inhale, come forward into a plank. Draw the belly in. Collarbones wide. Exhale, lower, hug the elbows in. Just hover over the ground. Inhale, press back up to plank. You can lower the knees to do this if you need to. We'll do this 2 more times. Exhale, hug the elbows in. Lower any amount. Inhale, press the floor away. One more time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale up to cobra. Just letting the hands float off too. So all 10 toes are on the ground. Knees are lifted. You can bring the hands back behind the tailbone for a clasp if that feels good right now. And let go of the clasp if you have it. Just come down to the mat. You can let the hands come underneath your chin. Take a couple of breaths. Come up halfway and take your arms out like goalposts. I'm going to roll to my right side first. So my right shoulder is in line or even a little bit, or my right elbow is in line or even a little bit higher than the shoulder. I'm just going to roll towards my right. You can bend this left foot, step it back. You might not roll all the way. The left hand can be on the ground or up somewhere else. Basically, I'm just looking for a stretch across the right chest, right bicep. If having this right arm bent does not feel good for you, you can try straightening the arm out. Usually, a bent arm will be a deeper stretch. And just try it out and see how it feels in your body. See if you can lengthen your tailbone towards the back of the mat. Just dragging the spine a little bit longer. Does that change the stretch? And then roll back center. Move to the other side. So taking the left arm, 90-degree angle, rolling to the left side. You can step the right foot back if that feels good. And you can do whatever you like with your right hand. Again, if having this arm bent doesn't work for you, you can try straightening it out beside you. Lengthen the tailbone towards the back of the mat. And then come back, center, plant the hands, tuck the toes, back through plank to downward facing dog. Just a few breaths here, let the chest rise and fall with the breath. Lift the gaze and walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Draw the body close to the legs. Let the head hang heavy. And then bring the palms together as you inhale. Sweep out and up to standing. Lift the gaze to the base of the thumbs. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Close the eyes, focus on the space between the eyebrows. If you'd like to set an intention or dedication for your practice, this is the time. And may all beings everywhere enjoy this practice through our bodies, through our senses. Blink the eyes open as you inhale, reach the arms up and back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Hands to the floor, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, right foot steps back. Lower the knee. Roll the chest up. Plant the hands, left foot steps to plank. Exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, lift the heart. Cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps between the hands, left knee lowers, look up. Exhale, left foot steps up. Inhale, press down through the feet, body floats up, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, hands to the heart. Same thing, left foot moves first. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back, lower the knee, look up. Right foot plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Draw the belly in. Inhale, cobra. Knees are lifted, belly draws in. Exhale, tuck toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps. Lower the back knee. Look up. Exhale, right foot steps. Forward fold. Inhale, heavy feet, arms reach up. Exhale, Pandasana. Again with the right foot, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps. Left foot plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck toes, lift hips. Inhale, right foot steps. Lower the knee, look up. Exhale, left foot. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, Pranayama. Inhale, reach up, Hasta Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, left foot steps. Right foot steps. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck toes, lift hips. Inhale, left foot steps. Exhale, right foot steps. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Interlace the fingers, Kali Mudra. First fingers pointing up, all of the other fingers cross. Reach the arms straight up overhead. Get the body as long and tall as you can. Before, there's just a pull through the thumbs that starts to draw the arms back. The sternum reaches up as the arms start to draw back. Maybe the hips bow forward. Just getting taller and longer through the front of the body. Gently stretch open. Take one more breath here. And then exhale. Fold over the legs. Draw the body close. You can wrap the arms around the backs of the legs, maybe fingertips towards the heels. You can reach the arms through, crossing the elbows, grabbing the fronts of the shins. Or just grab elbows behind the knees. Crown of the head is heavy. If you want to add an arm balance, crow, or anything else here, feel free. And whatever you're doing, take 2 more breaths and then step or float back through Vinyasa. You can stay with knees, chest, chin, or go right to Chaturanga. Inhale, lift into a back bend cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. If you need more power in your practice, you can always add a push-up there. But that's totally up to you. What does your body need today? Finding stillness in downward facing dog. That link through the arms, hips reaching up and back, heels heavy. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up. Press through the right heel. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Press the floor away. And then step left foot through. Lower the right knee and tuck the toes. And come up, 90-degree angle to start off with. Try to find the length through the front of the right hip. So I'm pressing down with the top of my right foot and the toes in my left foot. Chest is lifting up. Tailbone is lengthening. So I feel a stretch along the front of my right hip. And then you can start to bring the tailbone towards the front heel. Keep the feet pressing into the mat, inner thighs hugging towards each other. So even as you move deeper into that stretch, that strength, the stability is still there. Tailbone reaching down, inner thighs drawing towards each other. Then add the arms, hands interlace, Kali Mudra again. Arms reach up overhead, draw the biceps back, lift the chest up. Feet pressing down, thighs hugging in so you have a strong base. The upper body can be light, spacious. Take one more breath here. Exhale, hands to the floor inside the front foot, tuck the back toe, straightening the leg, and just slide forward and back. You can stay here on the hands, you can take the right forearm down, you can take both forearms down. Inside the left foot, left knee hugs towards the shoulder, chest stretches forward, the right heel stretches back, and lizard. One long line throughout the body. Imagine the body is a strong plank from right heel to crown of head. And then from wherever you want to go from there, maybe the chest moves closer to the mat, the elbows turn out. Anything you want to do. Some people like to take left shoulder under the knee, take the arms wide, or maybe find a bind. One more breath. And then release the hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, move through a vinyasa, however you like, or just stay in downward facing dog. Holding in downward facing dog, rising and falling with the breath. And with your next inhale, reach the right leg high, left heel heavy. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose as the shoulders shift forward over the wrists, hands pressing the floor away. Right foot steps between the hands, left knee lowers down, untuck the toes. And you're gonna come up first. We'll start off 90 degrees in both legs. You can just take the hands to the hip or the front thigh. Really think about sending the tailbone towards that left knee. So the front of your left hip, left thigh is long. Tops of the toes of the back foot are pressing down. The right foot presses down, hugs in. And then you can start to shift the weight forward. Imagine a magnet drawing your hips, your tailbone towards that front thigh. And you may need to scoot this right foot forward at this time. But keep the tailbone lengthening, thighs, feet drawing in towards each other. And then you can add the arms, Kali Mudra with the hands, reach straight up. And then draw back. So by the time you get to adding the upper body and the arms here, it almost just feels like a natural opening of the body. You've created these strong roots. So your branches, your flower, however you want to picture it, just open up. Take one more breath here. And then release. Hands to the inside of the front foot, tuck the back toes, straighten the leg. Slide forward and back. Right away, find the long, strong line of the body. Left heel through the leg, the torso out through the crown of the head, and then lower maybe the left forearm, maybe both onto the mat. The right knee hugs in, chest reaches forward. Find one point on the floor just beyond the fingertips to focus the gaze upon. You can keep the arms right where you are. If you did something else on the first side, maybe turning the elbows out, sliding the chest down. Or maybe you like taking right shoulder under the knee, spreading the arms, binding the hands. And just keeping the strength in the legs so that whatever the upper body chooses to do can feel light and easeful. Take one more breath here. And then release the hands, step to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower through the vinyasa. Making your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands, spin the right heel down. Then you're setting up like warrior feet, but just keep the hands on the ground for a moment. Stretch the chest forward, feel the feet press down. Inner thighs draw towards each other so the left hip is drawing back. Chest stretches forward against that action. And then on an inhale, the upper body just floats right up. Exhale, hands interlace behind the back. Open the chest. Feel the knuckles and the outer edge of the back foot reaching towards the same point on the floor. And then with an exhale, fold the body to the inside of the front knee. Crown of the head is stretching towards the front big toe. And here's a place, if the shoulders are tighter, you want to use a strap. You can take a strap right here. And just make a little more room for the body. Lengthen the back of the neck, letting it draw towards the front of the room. Maybe the hips sink a little bit lower. Take one more breath here. And then you can keep the hands, at any time you can release them towards the floor. We're moving towards standing stick. So I'm going to take my weight into the front foot. Keep the bind of the hands as long as you can. Lifting the back leg high. Focusing your gaze on the left big toe. And then eventually, the hands release, and they might come right to that left ankle. They might not even need to come to the ground, but they might come to the ground. And then you have options here. You can stay right where you are. You can play with handstand hops, just letting weight pour into the hands, taking little hops, maybe catching some air time there. Another option, if you have an empty wall close by, is you could take your right leg up the wall and just gently lean back into that leg to deepen the stretch. Any of those are options. So wherever you are, take a few more breaths to finish what you're doing. You may be done with it all and you may be in forward fold or child's pose here right now. That's totally fine. One more breath to finish. And then exhale. Bring both feet together. Coming into a forward fold. If you've come into child's pose or downward facing dog, you can just stay right there. We'll catch up with you in a minute. And on your next inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step or float back. And you can move through a vinyasa or just right to downward facing dog. How much movement does your body need? We'll come into Dolphin Pose. Lower the forearms to the mat. You can come both at one time. You can bring the fingertips together or keep them wide. And just holding here. If you're used to going up into forearm stand here, try just doing Dolphin for today. Noticing how it feels to interrupt a pattern or interrupt a automatic response. And then noticing how a different pose feels in the body. Press the floor away with the elbows. Hug the forearms in towards each other. Try to slide the chest back towards the knees. Draw the belly away from the thighs. Allow the heat to build in the body. Watch the breath. Reach the elbows towards the mat. Make more space in the shoulders. Press the mat away with the elbows. Create strength in that space. Take one more breath, and then come back to downward facing dog. If you need a few breaths in child's pose, go right ahead. You can meet us here. On your next breath in, reach the right leg high. And then exhale, step the foot through between the hands, spin the back heel down. And just stay for a moment with the hands on the floor. Feet pressing down, drawing in. Right hip draws back, chest reaches forward. And then on the next inhale, it feels so good just to let the body float up. Interlace the hands behind the back. Stretch the chest open. Outer edge of the back foot reaches down with the knuckles. And then on an exhale, reach the chest forward, fold to the inside of the front knee. Maybe taking your strap between the hands if that's helpful. And fold. So I'm not just folding down, I'm actually reaching forward. The crown of my head and even the chest is pulling towards that front big toe. And that brings the hips a little bit lower as they're also reaching forward. Back of the neck grows long. Allow it to be exposed to the front of the room. Surrendering. Take one more breath here. And then with strong legs, you're moving towards a standing stick. So remember, you can release the arms at any time if you need to. But just keep them bound if that's working out. Move slow. No rush. Focus the gaze on the right big toe. Maybe the hands move right to the ankle. No need to touch the floor. Draw the lower belly in and feel it lift up towards the ceiling. And from here, you might plant the hands strongly under the shoulders. Take little hops towards the handstand. You can take left leg up a wall if you have a blank wall near you, and just sink into that stretch. You can always release and move to child's pose, but take a few breaths, finish what you're doing. Meet back in standing stick. And then on your next exhale, fold the legs together. Inhale, a little lift. And exhale, step. Moving to downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Maybe you need to do 10 push-ups right there. Maybe just stepping back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, come forward to plank. Heels reaching back, chest drawing forward. Then let the weight roll to the left side of the body, left hand, outer edge of the left foot. Right arm opens up. Hips lift. You can stay here, or you can step the top foot back. Stand on the bottom foot, stand on that left foot so the chest can turn up. And then that right leg becomes light. Maybe you grab the toe or the heel. Open the leg up. One more breath wherever you are. And then how slowly can you make your way back to plank? And finally that hand comes to the mat. Inhale, chest stretches forward, heels reach back. And the weight pours into that light right hand. Left arm reaches up. And again, you can stay there. Maybe the top foot steps back. You stand all the way on the right foot. So I've turned the foot at like a 45-degree angle. And then other foot becomes light. Maybe take a hold of the knee, maybe the heel, or catch the toe. Stretching open. One more breath. And then release. Slowly, no rush. Moving back to plank. Inhale here. And then exhale. And just lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Using the strength of the back. Maybe releasing the hands. And exhale. Coming back to child's pose. You can keep the arms alongside the hips or reach them long. Take 2 breaths here. Let the body melt into the mat. And then just push yourself up into a forward fold. However you want to get there. Let the crown of the head be heavy. Get a little more light in here. It's a dark day today. Let the eyes close, focus on the space between the eyebrows. And feel solid connection between feet and earth. As you inhale, blink the eyes open. And the right fingers, first two fingers, grab a hold of the big toe. The left hand takes the hip. Stand on that left foot, solidly connected to the earth. Bring the right leg up with you. You can keep the leg straight, or you can bend the leg. Chest is tall. And then from here, bring the right foot into tree pose. You can bring the foot to the thigh or to half lotus. Hands together at the heart. If you want to bind the half lotus, right hand reaches around, grabs a hold of the big toe. Maybe the left hand is there to help. Gaze is to the tip of the nose. Crown of the head grows tall. Imagine branches growing out from the crown of your head, extending towards the sky. You can stay right here, or take a hold the inside of the right heel. Open up, left arm lifts. Again, this can be done with a bent right leg. One more breath. Chest floats up, and then exhale, feet together, hands together at the heart. Take a big inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Slide the hands under the soles of the feet. Pandasana. Bend the knees as much as you need to as you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head is heavy, reaching towards the big toes. Let the brain relax. Let the brain be supported by the skull. No work to be done right now. And blink the eyes open. Left first fingers grab the big toe. Right hand to the hip. Right hand stands tall into the mat as you come up. Left leg bent or straight. Chest floats up. And then bringing the left foot into tree. Foot to the thigh or to half lotus. Maybe left hand reaches around for the bind. Bind would look like this. You can stay here, or holding the inside of the heel with the left hand. Let everything open up. Left leg can be bent or straight. Slightly lift the gaze. Let that help create a feeling of lightness, space in the torso. Take one more breath here, and then release. Feet to the mat, hands to the heart. Close the eyes for a moment. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. Bring awareness back into the body, back into the breath. Let anything that's been stirred up calm down. And with your inhale, reach the arms overhead, open the eyes, look up, coming into a shallow or deeper back bend, whatever feels good for your body right now. Stretching the front of the body, wrapping the back of the body in on itself. One more breath. And then exhale, fold over. Hands to the floor. And then walk the feet out about hip distance. I'll just turn to face you here. I'm coming into Matsyasa, squat. Hands together at the heart. You can, if this isn't comfortable for your knees or your hips, you can roll the mat up like this as much as you need to and take the mat under your heels. Make it easier to squat. And so do something a little bit different with the arms today. You're going to take your left hand, I am not mirroring you, left hand to the right ankle, and the right arm is going to open up. And I'm going to take my left elbow and really reach towards the mat here as I twist. So I'm pulling on that right ankle. The knees are pressing back. But really what I'm thinking about the most is reaching that left elbow down towards the mat. And even if it doesn't touch the mat, just that action lengthens the left side of the body, the left lower back. And you can just hang the right hand back if that feels good. You can do whatever you like with the right hand. One more breath here. And then come back center. And then other side, right hand takes a hold of the left ankle. Just wrap fingers around the outside. The left arm can open up. And then I'm really pressing down right elbow towards the mat and snugging my right shoulder to the inside of that right knee as the left arm opens up. Chest is still lifted. My chest is sort of reaching on a diagonal away from the left heel to create that long spine. You can let the back arm, the top arm drape if you like, or even just press against that front knee. One more breath. And then come back to center. Press into the feet so your hips float up just an inch or two, enough to engage the thighs, lift the pelvic floor, working towards finding Mula Bandha. And come back down, and I'm gonna just rotate myself back to face the front of the mat. And you have two options here. You can either roll back into a shoulder stand or come into Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. So first option is just here. You can take your hands under your tailbone, stack the legs over the hips. You could put a block there. And second option, if you want to join me in shoulder stand, just roll all the way back. Walk the hands up towards the shoulders. Heels towards the front of the mat. If you can bring the legs into lotus, go ahead. Whatever the position of the body, let the eyes close or soften. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. If you're in shoulder stand and you feel no weight on the neck, weight is in the shoulders, you might move shoulder blades even closer together and release the arms up towards the thighs. Focus on the space between the eyebrows. And keeping everything turned inward. If you're in a shoulder stand, fold the legs overhead. So if the legs are in lotus, you can come into Pandasana. If the legs are straight, toes can touch the floor for Halasana. If toes don't touch the floor, bend the knees to touch the forehead. Keep the focus on the space between the eyebrows. If you're in Viparita Karani, legs up the wall, you can stay where you are, or you can come into Happy Baby. So, here or here. Wherever you are, slowly return spine to the mat. Come into fish pose, Matsyasana. Hands stack underneath the tailbone. If you're in lotus, keep the lotus. Lift the chest up. Let the head relax back. Chest floating up. And all of the muscles along the back of the body drawing in towards each other to press the chest up. Keep the focus on the space between the eyebrows. Let the eyes stay closed or soft. One more breath. Slowly release down. Take the arms out from underneath you. Let the body lie here completely relaxed. Body is a magnet for all the best things. With the inhale, everything you need, all of the good stuff rushes in. With your exhale, anything you don't need flows out. And the inhale, all of the best stuff rushes into the body. Draw the right knee into the chest. Feel the tailbone lengthen towards the left heel. You can stay here. You could use your strap again to straighten the right leg out. Or if you can keep the right hip on the ground and take a hold of the foot or somewhere behind the leg. Sometimes I like to press with my left hand against the right thigh just to help ground that hip even more. You could release that, let the leg come a little bit closer. And then take the right leg out to the thigh side. You could use your left hand on the hip. Make sure the left hip, if the left hip starts to roll up, that's where you stop. It doesn't have to go out far. If you're really flexible, you might take the outer right foot with the left hand and take the left arm overhead as the right foot moves to the side. But it might just be right here. Different bodies require different positions to sort of achieve the same sensations. And then bend the right knee. You can come into a figure four stretch, bringing the right ankle to the left knee. You could keep the hugging it into the chest. Or you could start to move the leg behind the head, pushing the right shin back, right shoulder forward, right shin presses back, right shoulder moves forward. Eventually, maybe the foot comes behind the head, maybe not. If you get the foot behind the head, you can release the hands. Head is pressing back so that the neck stays strong. Chin is lifted. And then wherever you are, release, switch out the legs. So you might already have a hold of the left knee. With your strap around the foot, or hand to the big toe, and let the left leg stretch up. And some people like to take their right hand, press into the left thigh, and still ground that hip. Lengthen the thigh away from you. And then you might release that. Bring the foot closer to the face. And taking your strap or the leg or the toe, right hand on the right hip, take the left leg out to the side. If the right hip starts to come up, that's where you stop. If you're real bendy, you can take the right hand to the outside of the left foot and let the leg go out to the side that way. Bend the left knee, and then your choice of hip stretch, you could do figure 4, holding onto the right shin. You could straighten out the right leg, cradle the ankle, cradle the shin, or move the leg back, left shoulder forward, move that calf back, shoulder forward, and just keep working that shoulder forward, leg back. Eventually, maybe it comes behind the head comfortably. If it's painful for the neck, too much pressure on the neck, it's not worth it. Press back with the head. Maybe the hands release. Whatever you have, release. Draw the knees into the chest. You could rock side to side. And then plant the feet. And setting up for bridge. So starting off, just press the hands into the tops of the thighs. So you can kind of feel a little traction in the low back here. And then release that. Draw the belly and lengthen the tailbone towards the heels. Reach the knees forward and come up to bridge. You could bring hands together and release behind the back. Press into the feet so the chest lengthens towards the chin. So you're still getting a bend in the upper back here. You could stay here or move from here into wheel. Moving into wheel, take the hands beside the ears and then press up. You might pause along the way, letting the top of the head gently rest on the floor and then press all the way up. You could just stay in bridge too. Whether you're on your hands or your shoulders, feel the inner thighs draw towards each other. Tailbone reach towards the knees. If you're on your hands, you can gently rock the chest towards the wall behind you. Try to press the floor away, straightening the arms. knees fall towards each other, feet wide. Take a deep breath. And then one more time, you can move just like we did from bridge to wheel. You can stay in bridge, or you can move right into wheel. On your inhale, tailbone lengthens towards your knees, come into your pose. Maybe bridge. Maybe you plant the hands, move into wheel. If you're in wheel and you want to try something different, you can move one forearm at a time to the floor so your forearms are on the floor right below your shoulders, hugging in like dolphin. Coming into Viparita Karani, or Viparita Dandasana, sorry. Eventually the legs straighten out. Tailbone continues to lengthen towards the heels. And the chest can press through the gate of the arms. Two more breaths wherever you are. And start to unwind whatever you've done. And make your way back. Onto the mat, knees rocking together, feet wide. And just observing the effects of the pose in the body. How does the pose make you feel? Let that wash over you. Then hug the knees into the chest. You can rock side to side. Maybe take happy baby. Fold the forehead towards the knees, making yourself into a tiny little ball. And then rock up to a seated position. Coming into a twist, bring your right foot to the outside of the left knee. Left foot folds in by the right hip, or you can just straighten the leg out in front of you. Right hand comes behind you. As you inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, twisting towards the right. You can hug the knee. You can bring elbow to the outside of the knee. You could take a bind if the arms are long. Lower back presses in, the chest floats up. And the spiral continues all the way to the crown of the head. The gaze is over the right shoulder. With the eyes closed or softened, focus on the space between the eyebrows. One more breath. And slowly unwind. And gently twisting to the other side. And then switching out, cross of the legs. Left foot comes to the outside of the right knee, right leg bent or straight. Left hand behind the tailbone. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, into your twist, hug the knee. Or whatever other position you prefer. Starting at the base of the spine, watch that spiral move all the way up to the crown of the head. With the eyes closed or softened, focus on the space between the eyebrows. One more breath. Slowly unwind. And just gently unwinding all the way to the other side. And then making your way onto your backs for Savasana. Take any props. Maybe it's cold in your house. You need a blanket or a sweatshirt. Socks. Make yourself really comfortable. Lying all the way back. Once you're comfortable, take a deep breath in. Feel the air fill all the spaces in the body. The body, like a balloon, floats off of the mat. And then exhale, sigh. The body is heavy, sinking into the mat. Relax the left foot, all of the toes. The lower leg is heavy. Upper leg and thigh sinking into the mat. Right foot totally relaxed. All of the toes soft. The lower leg is heavy. The thigh and the hip draining into the mat as if they were made heavy mud. The left hand, palm is soft. Relax the thumb and fingers, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forearm heavy, the upper arm and shoulder totally relaxed. Let any remaining tension drain away. And right hand, palm is soft. Relax thumb and fingers, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forearm heavy. Upper arm and shoulder totally relaxed. All of the limbs as if made of heavy wet sand sinking, melting into the mat. Relax the entire length of the spine, all of the muscles of the back and the shoulders soften. Neck and scalp. The eyes are still and heavy. Jaws relaxed. The throat is soft. Chest is light. The belly is relaxed. Body is completely still as if in deep sleep. Leave the body by itself. Leave the breath by itself. Go within. Begin to bring awareness back to the breath. Just watch the air flow into the body. Movement of air across the nostrils, the throat, into the lungs. Just observe. And continue to watch as the breath reaches all the way through the body, tips of fingers to the tips of the toes, bringing energy, life to the body. As you're ready, little movements, maybe a stretch. Eventually, find your way to a comfortable seated position, however you want to get there. Meet me in a comfortable seated position. With the eyes closed or soft. Just focus on the breath. And then bring your awareness just to the center of the heart and the space of the body. From the center of the heart, let the awareness just gradually expand out to the entire space of the body. Not distinguishing one part from another, just holding the whole space of the body as one piece. And then just allow that awareness to continue to expand beyond the space of the body. Not distinguishing between body and the outside. Just let it all be one thing. And allow the awareness to continue to slowly expand. No difference between self and other. And feel free to sit here as long as you like. You might pause the video if you want to stay longer. And if you're finishing with me, we'll close chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day.